ENS tokens from Uniswap. So I'm wondering where I would go or where I would look in order to choose delegates for those tokens that I've acquired.
Yeah, great question. So withtally.com is going to be your friend. In fact, that is the UI that we plan on using for just like governance stuff going forward. At least that's the current plan. So withtally.com, and you go to the ENS thing, and I think they have like a delegate tool and things like that. It's not super as user-friendly as like our token claim thing was, but it's usable, and I think we're going to try to work with them to make it easier to use, like with ENS reverse resolution and avatar support.
Cool, thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, let's go to Sam Hayek. How are you?
Hello, how's it going?
Good.
Great. Just wanted to say thanks. I remember when I first saw ENS, the concept and the value of it just made so much sense to me, not having to enter in a string of numbers to get someone's address. And this is actually the first airdrop that I've ever received in crypto. So it's pretty meaningful.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it's super exciting. It really means a lot. I had one question just on like what exactly the delegates do. I put Koopa Troopa in just because it made sense to me intuitively. But yeah, I was wondering if you guys could speak on it a little bit more.
Yeah, so first of all, the DAO is a one token, one vote system. So the number of tokens you have is the number of votes that you have for the DAO. And the DAO will be able to control certain aspects of the ENS protocol. So just like, for example, like the pricing and registration mechanism, and also spending the money that's been raised by that. So people can have proposals and vote on doing things with those things. There can also be like off-chain just signaling votes as well. And what the delegates are for is that most people don't have the time or the interest or the ability to like know the details of what's going on, like consider proposals and get into the weeds of ENS, because like they have jobs, they have other things, right? So they just wouldn't vote normally. But with delegates, they can delegate their voting power to another person who they trust, and then that person can vote on their behalf. So you still hold your tokens, but the voting power is held by somebody else. And you can always change it to somebody else. You can take it back to yourself if you want. But it's just a way of getting represented in the governance without you having to personally like get involved in all the details.
That is fucking awesome. And that's it. Yeah, thanks a bunch, you guys. Really appreciate it. And I'll jump back down, but this was super cool, and congrats to everyone again.
Yeah, thank you. A really cool thing about this is that you can redelegate your voting power at any time, meaning like you give it to a person and, oh, you don't like how they're voting anymore, so then you delegate to somebody else. Or it could even be like on a per vote basis, right? I mean, you could be like, I trust this person normally, but the way they're going to be voting on this upcoming thing, like maybe they've said publicly what they're going to do, I don't agree with that, so I'm going to delegate to somebody else. But then when once this vote's over, I'm going to go back to the original person. I mean, you have so much choice. So compare this, let's say, to a normal political system. Let's say, like in the United States, where I'm from. Let's say vote every couple of years for some representative, and then it's like it's a majority. Picks it for your geographic area. So maybe you didn't even vote for the person, but then they're representing you supposedly. And then even if you did vote for them, let's say you decide you don't like them. Well, you're stuck with them for their whole term, right? Well, not in the DAO. Here, you can, you give your voting power to whoever you want, and you can take it back anytime that you want. I think that's really powerful. Okay, great. Let's go to Nader. Nader, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, great to see you again.
Yeah. No, I just want to say first off, I think the drop went really well. I think it was very fair, really democratic. I think, in my opinion, this is probably the best airdrop since the Uni airdrop. Maybe even a little bit better because, really you only have one address with one ENS name. So I think it was pretty well done. So just want to congratulate you guys on that it went pretty smoothly.
Thank you.
I guess like the question that I've been thinking about is, I have more friends coming into crypto now, but obviously with the rising gas fees on layer 1 Ethereum, just playing around with crypto is really hard, right? It's hard for them to get that paradigm shift, right? Like, getting an ENS name, depositing into Aave, buying, participating in pool together on layer 1. So I'm kind of wondering like how you guys are approaching the fact that fees on layer 1 are getting pretty expensive. They might not be going down for a substantial amount of time. Are you guys thinking about maybe doing like a, like a naming system on L2, like a, let's say a nader.optimism.eth kind of naming registration like that, where state might exist somewhere else? I'm just kind of thinking about how you guys are thinking about a multi-layer ENS potentially.
Yeah, thank you. We are, and the answer is that it's going to happen in stages. So a stage that's going to happen hopefully soon, like in the next few weeks or months, is that we've developed a system which was recently renamed CCIP Read, that basically will allow users to put records and subdomains on the layer 2 of their choice. And in fact, you can actually, it's really just any external location. So like you put it on an L2, like Optimism, you could put it on a different L1. You can even put it on a server if you wanted to. And this is only for records and subdomains though. And depending on how you do it, it can actually make the cost of doing that either very low or even free. And this should really be a very, very good thing for a lot of different users. It's not going to solve all problems, but it's a good first step. And it's actually been our expectation since the beginning of ENS that most names would end up being subdomains for various reasons. And I can imagine if somebody uses this system to like give out tons of free subdomains or something like this, I mean, you could really onboard a very, very large, like millions of people, at like negligible cost to ENS with a system like this. When it comes to trying to reduce gas costs for, let's say, like new .eth registrations themselves or importing DNS names into ENS, because you can do both. Both of those are very expensive. They're on L1. We have ideas of how we could reduce those, but it's probably not going to happen soon. When it comes to .eth names, the reason for it is that we'd have to pick like one layer 2 to like migrate the whole system to. You can't have it split because of the way naming systems work. But we don't think layer 2s are like mature enough yet for that, and so we're going to see how that plays out. But relief could be coming soon for records and subdomains. And yeah, Jeff, go ahead.
No, I just want to echo some of the stuff you said. I think like a lot of people don't realize, but subdomains are just as powerful as .eth names. I mean, .eth names, you always be an OG, you always be, one of the .eth community, and a lot of people will want to pay the L1 gas fee to have that name and have that kind of piece of digital property. But I think also, like Brantley mentioned, subdomains are going to be really important, and you can kind of see it as like people having like a Gmail account or whatever, and they use that kind of in a lot of different places, even though it's like at Gmail. Like, why don't you have at jefflau.eth or at jefflau.com? It's because a lot of users don't really care about that, and if they do, they can get their own top level domain like a like a .com. But most people don't care about that, so they'll go for a Gmail account. So I think I see it. The subdomains is very similar to the .eth versus subdomain trade-off. And as you kind of onboard people into ENS, you might be like, oh yeah, why don't you just register one of those L2 ENS subdomains on like uniswap.eth? So it's like john.uniswap.eth or something like that. And they might even be very coveted, just like Gmail was right at the beginning. You could only register Gmail if you had been recommended, and you only had like 4 or 5 Gmails you could send out to different people at a time, and I could see that happening in the future for people to be using that on L2s right away. And like Brantley said, we're also thinking about .eth on L2s in the future, but yeah, probably not in the short term.
as well, because I am so excited about subdomains. And when I was doing research for roles in the Discord, and I was looking at like naming conventions historically, and this idea that like the Romans used to have 3 names, and it was like a first name, a clan name, and I can't remember what the third name was, but I totally see that subdomains will become an identifier in terms of like clans and guilds and DAOs and just communities that people are identified with. So that's one thing. Another way that I think about it is that if you have a .eth, so I have Alicia.eth, I imagine it that Web3 at the moment is kind of like a small village, even though it maybe doesn't feel like it when you're on Twitter, but kind of in terms of the whole planet, we are a small village. And then as kind of there is urbanization and things like that, and there are more people that go to live in a place, you start to get different types of housing and things like that, and then addresses get really complicated. So instead of just saying like, I live in this village and you'll find me, I have to say I'm on floor 8, apartment 7B, on this street in this city, with this postcode in this state in this country. And so when you think about like what you write in for a shipping address, like to think that subdomains could really, in terms of .eth, get that technical, just as a way to show identifiers. It's kind of nothing that we're not used to in other areas of our lives. It's just that with domains, we're not used to it, but I think that people might get used to it pretty quickly. But that's kind of some of the ways that I'm thinking about how subdomains could be used in the future with ENS.
Pleased with just the technology behind it and the ideas behind it, and so yeah, I will be keeping tabs for sure.
Wonderful, great. And you also asked about price. Just we don't have any opinions about that. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, I'm just I'm kind of figuring out that there's some tokens in my wallet here, and they have been assigned a value, and I'm just kind of curious about how that value is assigned, and again from the perspective of someone who's still kind of learning about the crypto space, that's I'm sure there's information that I'm missing.
Oh,
So
okay. Yeah. So like the value, it's entirely open market, like free market. So like that's not like assigned by like anybody. It's just like what happens to be the going rate like in the open market. That's like where that data is coming from. Like if you're seeing that somewhere.
Yeah. Okay. Wonderful. Thank you so much, and congratulations again. This has been a very exciting evening. I'll jump down off the stage.
Yeah, great. Thank you. I'm so glad that you're a part of the community. Thank you very much. And all of you, it's great to have you. Let's go to For Sale. For Sale, it's good to see you again. How are you? Feel free to unmute and speak if you are able to. Although Twitter Spaces can be very buggy. In fact, mine's been kind of laggy here. It's kind of concerning me a little bit. I got a wet paper towel, and I put my phone on a wet paper towel to try to cool it down because I think it was heating up. Okay, I'm gonna bring up some more people here. So I'm just do a couple at a time. Hopefully we'll be less likely to get rugged. All right, let's go to karma.wave. How are you?
How's it going?
Good.
Congrats on the whole entire ENS airdrop. This has been a super cool experience. Like, I think it's been making waves in this Web3 community. And I just had a quick question, which was, and you touched on it a little bit and you didn't want to talk about it, but what are some interesting ways you see ENS being used that most people aren't thinking about?
Oh, yeah. The great thing about ENS, and I have to give credit here to Nick.eth, who's the creator and lead developer of ENS, because he's always had this principle in mind throughout. So ENS is in some ways, is very, very simple. That doesn't mean that it was easy to design or build. It's actually the opposite. It's very, very difficult to build a very, very simple, generalized system. It takes a lot of thinking and planning. But what that means is that ENS is extremely open, right? It's like it's names and data attached to those names. Like that's fundamentally what it is. And it's a little bit more complicated than that, but that's fundamentally what it is. And that can do more than we even know that it can do, right? So its use cases have even evolved over time. Like even the core team, like you think, oh, we're building it, we know what it is. We don't know what it is. Like we're discovering what it is over time, even ourselves, and then responding to that. So like I even saw a project recently. We had an ENS workshop where somebody was using it just to point to like files on IPFS. So they had like jpg.eth, and then if you had like a JPEG file, you could get like your file name .jpg.eth, and it would point to that file on IPFS. And basically it'd be like ENS as the file system, like the shared file system of the internet. And it was like, whoa, that's like an amazing use. Like that right there is like potentially massive, but that's just like one little use case of ENS.
Yeah, that was Prem.eth. If Prem is in the audience or around listening, shout out to Prem.eth.
Yeah, I think there's like so many use cases for ENS that we haven't thought of, but even just like recently, the ecosystem has come out with some projects that I don't know if they were in stealth mode or they've just like come up with these ideas recently. But I think one project I saw recently was called Seismo or Sismo.eth, and they're basically building on ENS, and they want to do attestations with ENS as a core part of the technology. And I think what the use case for that is like, okay, let's say you have a doxed wallet where you're public with your address and your ENS name, but then maybe you have, I don't know, some other kind of wallet that you can prove that you have something in that wallet, or maybe they're both doxed, but you want one in your kind of hot wallet, and then you have like something expensive like a punk or something like that in a hardware wallet, but you don't want to transfer over to that wallet. You just want to prove that you own that wallet and that punk, and you attest in Seismo that you own this thing, and so you can kind of use this hot wallet to also like almost control the reputation of other wallets as well. So I thought that was really cool. I've never even thought of that as like a possibility in this, and just to echo on what Brandy says, like it's such a simple system that's very extensible, and we expect lots of crazy things. We expect to be surprised, basically. We expect so many different things to come out of this. So yeah, I'm very excited.
That's awesome. What was the name of that? Because that's so interesting. I was just talking about this in NFT NYC, because so many events that are gated, you don't want to have your hardware wallet even like on you, like I didn't travel with it. So if you could have something like that, that's like perfect for so many use cases.
Yeah, the project's called Seismo, Sismo. I'm not sure. I think it's .io but they own the .eth name. So yeah, maybe Google that.
I'm going to say it differently to Jeff. I'm going to say Sismo, but if you just search Sismo.eth, Sismo.eth, and their Twitter handle is Sismo_eth. Awesome.
Yeah, I found it. So it just sounds to me like almost like what you guys said. It's such a simple system, but it's almost its own organism since it's decentralized, So it's like it has emergent properties, which I find so interesting. Yeah.
And they're so excited because I think if they haven't done it already, are open sourcing the repo in the next week or two. And so, it will be available for other people to build on top of it. I think for me, it's kind of weird. I don't know if I can plug the first episode of Early, which is the ENS podcast with Nick. And we basically go into kind of the backstory of how ENS came about and Nick's journey. And it's kind of crazy and amazing and wonderful to think that ENS started with the Ethereum Foundation, and now, projects like Sismo are building on ENS, and like what will build on Sismo. And I think this is really the beauty and the potential of Web3 and this kind of open source environment that we're in.
That's so awesome. I just had one follow-up. Is there anything I should be thinking about it from a musician's perspective that you could do with ENS?
Oh my goodness. I'm going to try not to get too excited, but there are so many things. Are you in the Discord?
Yeah, I'm in it. I'm in it.
Okay. Can you tag me in there as an ENS workshop subdomains channel? Can you tag me in there, and I can tell you all the many ways that I'm excited for musicians and artists to use subdomains with.
Awesome.
ENS.
Yeah, I'm so excited. Thank you.
Cool.
Awesome. Incredible. Let's go to Corey.eth. Corey, I actually met Corey.eth in person in New York last week, which was amazing. Corey.eth is a great guy. Good to see you again, sir.
Hi, Brantley.eth. Yeah, Brantley is so eloquent, isn't he, guys? He just explains his passion for ENS so well. It's really infectious. I just thought I'd share my own story getting into the community this year and kind of falling in love really with ENS and what it stands for. So, like you were just saying, ENS itself is extraordinarily simple. I have a background in math, and as a math person, you're always looking to distill something down to like axiomatic assumptions or very small things. The Ethereum white paper as well basically demos, like in Solidity, a mapping storage function, which basically is the core part of ENS. But that's not enough to build ENS, as Brantley mentioned. And so ENS also has the incentive mechanisms on top of it, like the pricing model. Like, just as an aside, I think we've all experienced some form of this story I'm going to tell you. We all have various usernames, particularly us gamers. My desired Xbox gamer tag last played Xbox 12 years ago. So that has zero value to humanity, just sitting there on a server. My desired Twitter name for like a different moniker than my, crypto facing ID is joined June 2011 and has 0 tweets. That same name, Instagram, like this whole identity that I have is also has 0 posts. So I just can't have this identity on Xbox, Twitter, or Instagram. But neither can anyone else that cares about it. And that's just because the incentives are wrong. So when you think about ENS, like, and your attempt to build it, and you're saying, okay, I'm going to attempt to build this, and I'm going to like own the idea that's trying to build on the .eth. Like you really only get one attempt to build on .eth. Like if the project fails, it has to fail hard so everybody doesn't do it, or it has to succeed. Like there's no middle ground. There's no like it's partially adopted. And so to nail the incentives like that is really great. I have a lot of delegates from the NFT community. I also applied to be a delegate. I don't know even if I mentioned that, but I think everyone there has a background in gaming is there as well. And they really want multiple identities. They want communal identities, which relates to subdomains that have been laid out. People want payment mechanisms. They want Ethereum to be easier to use because nobody likes hexadecimal strings. But the reality of math is that you need hexadecimal strings. And so how do you get from one to the other? Everybody kind of has to agree on the way to do that. So I think we're all passionate about different subsets of the ideas and more. And it's just so exciting to try this out together.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, thank you. Corey.eth is brilliant. He has a great perspective. I had a great time chatting with him, getting coffee with him in New York. And I'm so glad you're a part of the community. And last time I checked, I think you were getting quite a bit of votes delegated to you. So you should check that out. Go to withtally.com and go to ENS, and you'll have to find your Ethereum address on the top votes, I think, category. I think you're actually doing really well. So I'm glad that you're a member of the community. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, 99.8% of my votes were given by other people. So that it's just so great to see everybody participating. The interface, really, I think you're going to see setting a new standard where everybody goes through an approval and you, by default, are delegating. It's going to increase the participation for you, speculators. It's going to take tokens off the market because they're locked up in delegations kind of by default. So it's just great. I think you'll see a lot of people, ENS built on the ideas of Uniswap and others. It furthered it with its mechanics and its, like the temporal multipliers in the rewards for your ENS drop. And some of the innovation you saw, I think, was actually in the UI flow there. And I bet that's going to be a standard going forward for claiming airdrops, particularly for DAOs with a vision. It's something that like wants to be something. Anyway, I yield my time.
Well, Corey.eth, thank you so much. Really appreciate your kind words on the UI. Quick correction though, when you delegate your tokens, they actually are not locked. The way delegation works is that you delegate like per account, and then once you've delegated like your account to a person. Any tokens you have are like delegated to that person, but you can still like send them away. And if you do, then like the delegation doesn't follow the tokens because it stays with the account. But anyway, I agree. I'm really happy with how the UI turned out. Just our team really, I think, did a great job. So thank you very much. Let's go to Hashcube. Hashcube, how are you?
Hi, thank you so much. I've been following ENS since May of 2017. I found it and spent about a month just getting familiar and finding really cool domains. So I'm really excited.
Wow, OG.
Yeah, I'm excited for the airdrop. So thank you guys. I had one question on the articles, if I could ask it.
Yeah, go ahead.
In Article 4, it says that high priority domains will be given to owners on DNS. What happens if that domain is already owned by someone?
Good question. So what it says is that the term is top level domain, and that's another term for like suffix or ending. So that would be like not google.com, that's like .com, okay? And so this is actually a key thing to understand about ENS. We have .eth names, those are native to ENS, and they have the full benefits of being blockchain native, self-custody, censorship resistance, many things. But then we've also done full DNS namespace integration. So this is already true today. If you have a domain name on DNS, let's say I have bcmilligan.com, I can import that into ENS with the same ending, okay? Not .eth. So like I have bcmilligan.com on ENS. You can like right now open up MetaMask, type in bcmilligan, it's MILLEGAN.com into MetaMask, and you can send me crypto to it. So what that article though is saying is that we want ENS to not come into conflict with the global DNS namespace. And as a result, we want to keep the systems in sync. We're not going to create like lots of new top level domains or suffixes. And we want whoever owns a suffix or a name or domain name on DNS to own the same thing on ENS. But that doesn't affect .eth because .eth is like its own suffix. Does this make sense, what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, it does. Thank you so much. I got it now.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Yeah, guys, OG ENS user here is super cool. Let's go to Mooks. Mooks, how are you?
Hey, Brantley and the entire team, Jeff and Alicia, I want to say congratulations on this epic day where I've been listening to people. I'm a small NFT creator and artist with my collections that have sold out. And I want to say thank you so much because over and over every day, morning, noon, and night, I hear people say on Spaces, we're early. But this airdrop really makes me feel like I'm early. And this is the best reward that I've ever received for being early. And I agree now, we are early. I kind of started to get annoyed hearing it over and over again, but now it's sinking in. And for me, Mooks.eth is like permanently etched in the blockchain as like what my brand is. It's so exciting. It's driven me and propelled me to every day wake up and be confident in like the fact that we can create our own brands, decentralized, and control our own fates and futures. And I really want to thank you for inviting me up and allowing me to speak. But I'm so overjoyed to be a part of this. It's just incredible. You guys are geniuses, all the entire lot. And thank you so much.
Woo. Well, Mooks.eth, thank you. And yeah, I love it. And it sounds like you've caught the vision, which really encourages me. And yeah, we are early. Like people, like roughly, it's like roughly 137,000 accounts like we're eligible for this airdrop. Okay, right. ENS is for like everybody on the planet. Like we're talking billions of people. And then of course, if you've heard me speak before, like it's not even just humans, it's like files, it's like tokens, NFTs, organization, like everything's going to be named with ENS names. And so like we are so early here. This is like almost like another founding moment for this protocol. That's like how I feel. It's such an important milestone. It almost feels like another founding moment, like a key moment. And it's so cool that you all, we get to do this all together. Like Mooks.eth, you're here. Like, man, you are here. Okay. Thank you for being here.
I'm loving it, man. And thank you. I was going to ask you how many eligible wallets there were. I know there's people with multiple wallets, like checking tokens on Discords here and there. But I think in general, like, honestly, when I bought the .eth domain, it was like learning how to do, there's so much to learn, but it's like when I saw that I could do that, I really had a strong faith in it. And yesterday, excuse me, I helped my girlfriend buy her .eth domain, and now she's going to start creating NFT art after she's going to, follow my lead. But we're really enjoying this space. It's been the most incredible community of people that I've ever met online. Almost, I would say 99.9% of people you interact with are helpful and caring and loving, and it's a win and help win model.
Yes.
Of pseudonymous work that Balaji Srinivasan taught me in a podcast, and I've lived by it ever since hearing that. And thank you again, team here, and congratulations. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Your passion is not lost on us for sure.
Yes, and I've said this before, and no offense to other NFT projects, but I think ENS is the best NFT projects. And what I mean by that is it's like it's open to everybody. There's no limits. Anybody can get one. You still get your own unique one that represents you and is useful. Like it's like the core of your internet identity. I think it's super cool.
Best unlimited supply NFT project.
Yes, indeed.
Or maybe only unlimited supply NFT project.
Yeah. Great. Let's go to GuyStewart.eth. How are you?
Yeah, fantastic. This is so cool. Look, I don't know how you guys are feeling. I sympathize with Alicia with her bucket because like I'm at arm's reach from this project, but I have so much like in my heart and concern for .eth and ENS as a project. Like ever since I first heard of it, I actually first came into contact with the Unstoppable domains and didn't really make any much of a difference between the two of them until I think you directly, Brantley, mentioned in a Twitter post back and said, oh, look, we're decentralized. Like, that's the difference. One's a centralized for-profit organization, the other's decentralized. And that division and, dichotomy between ownership models is really what this space is all about. Like, that's, if you dig, what have we got at the core of this crypto project? It's this opportunity to kind of reboot so many systems in a new way that really changes the distribution of everything that we've got. And so, yeah, I really care about ENS, and I always had faith that the team driving it had the right intentions. So much so that when I actually saw the airdrop, I actually became nervous for the project. Like, I felt like even though it wasn't decentralized yet, because it was a core team in control, that giving away that power, I have so much faith in the team and how they've not just delivered the airdrop, but the project to date, that like, I felt like, oh shit, this is actually, this could go badly, but, just watching how it's all rolled out, seeing the enthusiasm and the passion that people have for the project and the belief in what they have, they're not just going to dump this token and get their, whatever it is, $35 or something per token right now. I think more people get it. And what we're going to see is such a stronger space for having this massive distribution. I think, what have we got now? There's it's 130,000, right? 137,000 eligible addresses. Yeah, and of those, nearly 20,000 have claimed in the first sort of 4 hours of the drop. Like, it's an engaged, and that's with massive gas. Like, I'm sure stacks of people are sitting there not claiming yet, ready to hold those tokens and do their delegation. But it really feels like this is the next stage of the crypto community. Like, this is the first, you mentioned the DAO, the Ether DAO, and its sort of spectacular collapse. That was an opportunity at like a decentralization of Ethereum and distribution, but this feels like, forgive me, a DAO 2.0 but with all the lessons learned and all of the infrastructure and all of the onboarding and all of the utility and all of the facilities available to us to really have a proper go and to show what this space has to offer. So thank you so much to the team for building such an amazing tool and now giving it away to the community so that we can really see what we can do collectively and distributed.
Yeah. Woo. Yeah, we don't need more corporate gatekeepers. We already have that on the internet. If you want that, Web3 and ENS is all about. We don't need the corporate gatekeepers. It's decentralized. It's owned by the people for the people. You know, even the revenue goes back to the community. This is the new way. This is like what we're building. And thank you so much for being a part of the community. And it's funny you say, like, you know, it's like worried. You're worried, oh, it's going to be decentralized and something bad's going to happen. I'll say, for me personally, I am not worried at all. Okay, I have so much trust in the ENS community. We have such a great community, such great people who are passionate and who are smart and care about it. You know, just even, I mean, we already had a great community of people who are really involved, but even since we just announced the DAO a week ago, and we hadn't even launched it yet. I mean, you know, it's launched today. So it was just, you know, this last week, just the fact that we were launching a DAO, really great people who we respect, who, you know, maybe had been involved in ENS, suddenly you could see them taking a lot more ownership, you know, like debating things, taking things seriously, making proposals and stuff like already. And that really encourages me that this is the right path. Great. We're going to go to...
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jeff.
Just wanted to add that, like, for the distribution as well, I mean, I think for many other protocols that you know do airdrops as a way of kind of giving the community control over a DAO, a lot of them have a lot of financial value because when, I mean, not the token itself, but like the transactions they make have financial value. Like maybe it's like a DeFi protocol where if they put it in, they'll make some money from it. So it's very easy to kind of have like mercenary money come into that protocol and just like farm the token. Like even if they don't know the token's going to happen, they might just put money in just because it makes a lot of sense to you know make their APR or whatever. But I think with ENS, I mean, there were some people that speculated on names earlier on, but I think over the last 4.5 years, we've built up this huge community of people literally just buying .eth. Like there's almost no financial gain to getting your .eth name apart from, you know, gaining your own identity or setting up crypto payments or setting up your own decentralized website. There was not a real financial gain to that apart from, you know, for yourself and getting that identity. And it's not something that a lot of, you know, farmers and mercenary money would come in and just scoop up a bunch of them. I think we were confident that a lot of the .eth community is very organic, and we were actually giving it to the people that, you know, kind of made ENS what it is today, rather than giving it to a bunch of people that, you know, just had a lot of money that they could invest in the protocol.
Yes, absolutely. Next person I want to send it to is, I don't know, my phone's lagging. I'm even trying to keep it cool here, folks, so I'm sorry if we get rugged. Johnny Esper.eth. Johnny Esper.eth here. Hey, how are you doing?
Hello. Hi.
Okay, you've got your profile pic here is the NFT image for your ENS name. I just want to explain this real quick to people because I think this is really cool. A lot of people have been excited about it. We recently added NFT Avatar Support to ENS profiles. So you have your ENS name, you have this data, there's an avatar record. You can like just put like a URL that points to a file or something. But you can also put an identifier that identifies an NFT that you own as the avatar image for your ENS profile. And then we did this thing where so your ENS name itself has an NFT image. And if you have an avatar, we put that as the background image with this overlay that has the ENS logo and then your name on it. And so it's combining these two really, really important NFTs for you, right? It's like it's your ENS name and it's like your profile pic, like NFT, puts them together as one. And it's like it's your identity. This is really cool. So if you want to know how to do that, go to our Medium blog. There's a link to it on the bottom of our website, ENS.domains. We have a guide. It's like step-by-step guide to adding an NFT as your avatar, something like that. Follow the steps there. And then you go to OpenSea and refresh the metadata, and you can have something like this too. Anyway, Johnny, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. no question. Just a comment. Wanted to gush over the fact that this is a really cool project that you guys put together. To be honest, I started with NFTs earlier this year. Didn't really. I had a couple of good, experiences, sales, and stuff like that. But my main thing is I wanted to mention that I saw a bunch of influencers and Twitter people with this .eth address, and I was like, or .eth name, and I didn't really get it at first, and I was like, what is this all about? And so when I researched it, I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool. It's it's engaging in crypto. It's an address. It's unique to myself. So I decided, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try it out. I'm gonna put my identity there. And the cool thing is it opened up a whole new world. So everything that you guys have been doing is amazing. As soon as I realized that I could have a central identity across the metaverse in crypto with this .eth address, my mind was absolutely blown. And so I was like, okay, I got to have this. I want to be one of the cool kids. I'm going to take advantage of it. And everything you guys have been doing since then has been amazing. You mentioned my profile pic. As soon as I found out that you can merge your, one of your NFTs basically with your address, I immediately did it. I said, oh, this is so cool. I did the same thing, with Twitter. I can't wait till Twitter actually engages with crypto, with what they're saying, so that you can put this all together and be native. It's just spectacular. So all that to say, as soon as you guys announced the tokens, I thought the game was like already at its peak. I thought you guys were already at the peak, doing all amazing stuff, big brain ideas. And then when you introduced the DAO, again, like second mind blown. I was so impressed. The drop is probably one of the best drops I've ever seen. I've never seen a drop of this kind of scale go so successfully. So congrats to everybody on the team. I am more enthralled by the future of what you guys will be doing and how you guys are going to engage and how we're going to keep our identities, tied. Like this work to it. It's just great work. I just wanted to sit there and say that I've been listening in to the multiple Twitter Spaces. Amazing work, guys. Awesome stuff. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. That's awesome. I'm so glad that you're a part of the community. Thank you. You're great. Okay, we had a long list of people in the queue here, and my Twitter app crashed there, and I had to come back. And I'm glad that I was able to reconnect. But when that happens, it completely gets rid of the whole request queue for me. So if you want to speak, you have to add yourself to the queue again. I'm sorry about it. That's just what happened. It's kind of good that it crashed because my app was like lagging really bad. It was like unusable. But now it like cleared all that out and it's working again. Okay, so I'm sorry if you like got out of order and been waiting a long time. It is what it is. I'm just going to bring people up in the order that I see them on the list. Okay, here we go. Great. And Jonathan Henthorn, how are you?
Hey, doing well. Thanks for having me on. I was really surprised and excited. I think it was on Friday when you were at NYTFT and we're like in downtown.
NFT.NYC?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, sorry about that. But you were, I guess, in downtown, like, and there were some huge like billboards, and ENS that was like featured on there.
Yes.
And you were like taking some pictures, and I was like randomly, I just like at work sitting on my computer, and then all of a sudden I'm getting these hits on Twitter and Discord from like some NFT community admin where like people had spotted my ENS name up there. And that was just really exciting. I was like,
oh,
this
wow.
is unbelievable.
Okay, you were on it. Yeah. Okay. Awesome.
Yeah, I was
Very
on the
cool.
billboard. Yeah, so I'm Jeeves.eth, and I had applied to be a DAO delegate. And so as part of that, I'd like hooked up, gone through, and I was like, pretty cool to find, like, that's what prompted me to set my NFT URL in my ENS profile. So I guess that's what must have put everything together to where I could where someone could pick me out of a hat and put me up on the billboard. But that was super fun. So just thanks for that, and for whoever else was involved in making that happen. That was really cool. And then just today has been amazing too. Just with the drop, it's gone is just so amazing. It's been really well done, and I've just been able to get. Since my profile picture is from the Forgotten Runes Wizard NFT group, and so I'm sort of like their DAO delegate in some ways. I just was, telling them, hey, I'm applied to the ENS DAO delegate, and hit this link if you want to vote for me. So I've got them and a couple other communities have my back in the voting, and really looking forward to see what happens next there. But just this whole thing's been super exciting. I'm really happy about the way it's being set up and run, and really excited to have some and support this decentralized Web3 infrastructure that's going to be so important for probably the rest of the world moving forward. So anyway, it's just been a really cool past couple of days. Yeah, exactly. Let's keep it going. So thank you so much.
Yeah, Jeeves.eth, thank you so much. Quick comment. I have a buddy actually in the audience here, Flaherty.eth, who all his NFT avatar is also, I think, from that collection, which is really cool to see another one of them. And the Billboard, I'm really glad it came together. It was something that it was like last minute. I was flying to New York. Other people were doing it. I've never gotten a billboard in Times Square before. I have no clue how you even go about doing that. But I tweeted out like, hey, how do you do this? And somebody got my DMs and connected me with a company. And we were really busy with announcing the DAO and everything. And so sort of like last minute threw something together. And in terms of how you got up on there, it was literally just I need to find some, ENS NFTs that have the avatar. So I just need to find something. And we got it up there. It ended up looking great and people loved it. I think we're actually going to try to do it again and just have more preparation and planning. I'm really glad you got to be a part of it. And dude, you've made it. You were on a billboard in Times Square. Okay,
Hell
that's it. You've arrived.
Awesome. That was so fun. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let's go to Handsome Henry.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing good. I just had a quick question. Is there a way you can see how many people claim their tokens? Like how many wallets claimed?
Good question. I'm sure there's got to be some way, probably on Etherscan or something.
Oh, okay.
Jeff or Leon, do you have an idea, or Alicia?
Sure, if you can see exactly how many people have claimed their tokens, but you could see if you go to the contract, the token contract, there will be, I think, 25 million for the airdrop in there, and you can see how many tokens have been claimed, but you wouldn't be able to see how many people have claimed those tokens.
Okay. I see.
No. Hold on a second. Can't you see number of holders on Etherscan?
Yeah, but numbers holders is not the same as how many people claim, right? Because you can trade it.
That's correct. Good point. That is true. I'm sure there's a way to dig into it. We don't have the information at hand right now, though.
Yeah, that's all good. Congrats on a good job, guys.
Thank you. Okay, great. Let's go to I'm going to mispronounce it. Savhamanoa.eth.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. You actually said that perfect. Not many people get that right. It's my three dogs' names put into one name.
Love it.
Just wanted to say congratulations on everything. This was a kind of a huge surprise for me personally. Definitely my biggest airdrop in the NFT space and in the crypto space in general, and just excited to see where the future goes. I kind of bought the ENS domain, not by accident, but just kind of going through some videos, learning the space in general a few months ago, and didn't expect any sort of thing in return. So today was just a big surprise in general. So thank you, and congratulations to everybody.
Thank you for being a part of the community. And sir, don't be so surprised. This is Web3. This is a new world. Okay,
I know.
This is how the new world works.
We're all going to make it.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Great. Okay, let's go to the XXXXXXXX person. How are you? Oh wait, I haven't brought them up yet. Hold on a second. I see them just next in line. I'm gonna bring up a couple of people here. Now the XXXXX person. How are you? if you are able to speak.
Are you talking to me?
I'm trying to talk to at 42 Chainlink 42, but maybe
Oh, XXX. Sorry about that. I didn't see that you were saying X. It's a Chainlink fence in my profile. Sorry about that. I just want to say congratulations. I've been involved in a bunch of different airdrops from different projects, and this one was really different, unique. The way you guys calibrated it for the distribution is really great for the project, especially as a beginning, as a start. My only question regarding the future of the project, do you guys have plans for having this name service on other chains? Let's say Matic, let's say Arbitrum, let's say even Solana, or even, I don't know, Bitcoin theoretically, or something like that.
Yeah, good question. So ENS, even on Ethereum, can serve all these things because you can store any arbitrary cryptocurrency address. So even like today, you can store a Bitcoin address, Dogecoin address, Solana, anything. So you can send anything on those networks to an ENS name, and it can work if the wallet supports it. In terms of like actually putting things on other chains, it's not necessary. Just because the way naming systems work, that you want a single source of truth. But ENS does serve all these different chains.
I guess my only follow-up question to that is, what if other, let's say, competing chains to Ethereum want to have their own name services? How do you guys address that as a DAO?
Yeah, so they do. Many of them do, and they try. There's dozens of these out there. You haven't heard of them because they haven't been successful. And I would just say we don't need tons of different copies of naming services. It's not helpful. It's just like the same functionality, but just like on another chain. We already have something going here. On the one hand, I've said ENS is very simple. In other ways, it's very complicated. It can be very complicated in its simplicity. I haven't seen anything like that of like, we're doing ENS on another chain. It's never been successful. And I just think ENS does everything that we need to do.
The way you guys did the project from the beginning, and especially now with the distribution of the governance tokens, I think it's a really big differentiator between you and everybody else. So, again, I just wanted to say congratulations, guys. Thanks again. I'm actually moving about 6 figures in. I'm just waiting for the Matic bridge to complete.
Oh, wow.
I got a big airdrop, but I'm buying more now. So
amazing.
And one last thing, if you guys are into it, Chainlink and stuff like that, please delegate to Chainlinkgod.eth. He's a delegator there, so if anybody's interested in Chainlink and CCIP and all the stuff that we're doing there, I would really encourage you to look at Chainlinkgod.eth.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, I was DMing Chainlinkgod earlier to trying to convince him to become a delegate, and he didn't get in until after the claim went out. So a lot of people missed out on delegating to him, and he had to pay the 300 Gwei gas fees to set up his delegate profile and everything. But he said he's
I'm paying that now. It's painful.
But yeah, no, we have a lot of strong links with Chainlink. We've been collaborating with them. CCIP is actually partially an ENS protocol. We built something called Dune, which is actually something that addresses what you were talking about with other chains. It doesn't bring all of ENS onto other chains, but it brings records and resolvers to layer 2. So that also will help out with if people want to use ENS on layer 2. That is something that we're going to be releasing and actually developing with Chainlink. So CCIP read is something that we're co-collaborating on.
Really exciting stuff for the future. I'm really looking forward to it. Thanks again, guys.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Yes, let's go to Corey.eth.
Hey guys, congrats on the airdrop. Definitely just want to say, thanks, really loving all this, like everyone's been saying. I have a bit of a technical question, and maybe it's a bit of operator error, I'm not sure. So I have my ENS names spread out over 2 wallets, and so I claimed my airdrop on both wallets, and I'm just trying to send, the ENS token from one to the other. And every time I try to swap between, send it between my 2 wallets, MetaMask just isn't letting me proceed. I was wondering if there's something that's part of the token that I have to keep it for a certain amount of time, or I'm just kind of maybe doing something wrong with the gas. So is there something that's set up to kind of prevent that, or is it just on my end some weirdness.
There's no lockup for the token, so you should be able to transfer it without any issues.
Okay, I'll fiddle with it and see what I'm doing wrong. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, good question. And I think MetaMask itself has had some, either MetaMask or Infura, something in that combination's been having problems lately too, just in general. I know I've had problems, things unrelated to the ENS token. I'm not sure entirely. If you, and the best place, by the way, to get support help is our Discord channel. So for you or anybody else who's listening, if you ever have a question about ENS or something's not working or something like that, Discord channel. That is the best place. Alicia.eth and Validator.eth like live there, and they're really smart. They know everything. They can help you. There's also a great ENS community that can people just jump in and answer questions and help you. That is the best place to go. Okay, let's go to relicboon.eth.
Hey man, how's it going? I have a really quick question that just got brought up before my comment. I just did that avatar setup, but my order is in my cold storage wallet, and my ETH address is connected to my hot wallet. Is this going to work, or did I just waste gas?
So I think it's really only supposed to display if the wallet owns it. Because it's supposed to be the idea of like, well, you can't use it as your avatar unless you own it, right? So if you have it split between two different things. So yeah, I would say it shouldn't be working. I know we had a problem where it wasn't enforcing that totally, and we were trying to fix that. So even if it like for the time being shows, it's not going to continue because we're trying to fix that. But yeah, I guess that's the answer.
Yeah, I think if it's showing, it shouldn't be showing. But yeah, this is something that we were talking about earlier that maybe Seismo.eth might be able to fix, like attestations on a cold wallet for a hot wallet that, you know, I own both wallets. Therefore, this hot wallet can be the owner of this other thing that isn't part of my wallet.
This is exactly what it's for. It's so exciting.
Yeah, so, and I kind of figured that was going to be the case, but I just gave it a shot. It was $60, so it went through. But okay, well, I'll take care of that in Discord, talking with you guys through that a little bit later. I was just excited to initiate that, obviously. Anyways, back to my comment. The last time I put $160 on a single number on a roulette board and hit for $6,000 was once upon a never. So thank you for today's airdrop. This was pretty awesome. With that being said, so yeah, the best of the best projects obviously return value to those who not only got in early but are supporters. So you guys have already done a great job with that. So I was panning through a lot of these .eth addresses, looking up some possible unclaimed ones. I actually just bought 2 more while we've been on these spaces. But with that being said, what I was considering, there's so many that are going to be expiring soon. And now with the ENS token, have you guys considered maybe doing something where when you're registering addresses, to be able to register using the ENS token to create a supply demand chain for it, and maybe even giving like a price break using an ENS token rather than spending Ether to register the address? That was just a thought I had and maybe an idea. Not sure if it was possible, but I think it would be good for traction for the future of the token itself.
I mean, registration has always been something that we are trying to use as a mechanism to disincentivize squatters. So people that want to just hold the names for no other reason but to flip them. And if we're ever going to use ENS token, that ENS token would have to have a value. And obviously, we don't know exactly what the value is going to be or whatever. So I don't think, and it's not something that we want to speculate on. I would also say that we're not actually kind of in charge of that anymore. So it will really be up to the DAO to figure out whether or not they want to do something like a subsidy or do something like using ENS token to pay for registrations or have some kind of discount. They actually will have the ability to change that and change the pricing and that kind of thing. So if you are really feel strongly about this, I encourage you to write a proposal and try and propose that in the ENS DAO and see what other people think.
Yep, that's kind of why I brought it up. It's just an idea that triggered in my head. And, now that we have these ENS tokens, it'd be good to see the continued success, obviously, with the airdrop. And it looks like a lot of people are already wanting to buy. I want to buy more just because I want to keep support. And I'm going to hold these for a long time, unlike these guys that are already selling them. I think they're nuts. And hopefully we go to the moon here.
Woo. Thank you very much. Okay, let's go to the Countess.eth. How are you?
Hi, everyone. Thank you for this airdrop. I'm just so excited to just participate. And in fact, that's pretty much the only reason why I bought any ETH a year ago. And so I think my only issue is that in MetaMask, which I love MetaMask, but for some reason, the tokens are displaying a nominal price. And I just wanted to know if anyone else has seen that. And because it's just kind of bizarre and the price is high on it. And I don't understand why there's a monetary value on it at all.
Yeah, good question. I'm not sure entirely where MetaMask is getting that price, but where prices come from are just simply from the free market. So like markets like Uniswap or Sushi or other markets. And a token like this, it's early. It's probably going to have, it's not super liquid in the markets, which means there's not that much being traded. And I wouldn't put too much stock in what the current prices are. But what MetaMask is showing is just supposed to be like a possible indication or something like that based on wherever they're getting their data.
That's pretty interesting. Okay. I mean, it's not a bad thing or it's kind of fun, but it's just okay, I don't know how this could already have a huge price on it. So I guess we'll just see in the next few days. But I just want to say congratulations about the drop, and the claiming process was really easy. The UI is beautiful. So it was just a lot of fun.
Well, thank you so much. And we have Leon and Actual here, who Leon's a speaker, Actual's listening, who deserve all of the credit for the claims website if you want to go and follow them and stay up to date with what they're doing. They did an incredible job, and it's so exciting to hear people's feedback about their experience with the claims website.
Yeah, thank you for saying that. Love hearing that feedback.
Yeah, woo. You guys really did do a good job. Let's go to Bandit.eth, one of my buddies, core ENS community person. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good, Brandon. It's been a while. I'm sorry I haven't been on the spaces in a bit. I've been building.
Good.
But yeah, no, it's exciting to hear all this, community enthusiasm, and I'm excited for you guys. It's a great day. There's a lot of these few points I wanted to touch on. One, just very quickly, someone asked where you could find the data for all the ENS tokens that have been claimed. You can go to Dune.xyz, which is Dune Analytics, Dune.xyz/Hill Dobby. So it's the inverse of Dobby Hill from Harry Potter. And I think you'll click on his profile, you'll see an ENS airdrop page, which has a bunch of information on that, like the percentage and everything.
Nice, thank you.
Yeah. So I guess one thing I wanted to address that a few people were mentioning is, what do these tokens do besides giving you a stake in a protocol to an extent? I think personally, there's a lot of governance tokens out there, and, there's a limited participation because, again, you're talking about mostly financial protocols that are meant to, increase returns and whatnot, and utilize different instruments that I think most people don't have an understanding of, nor really an interest, because you're trusting other people to, have that expertise. But I think with ENS, what's really awesome, and that I'm looking forward to, is that, as you said, because it's such a natively basic protocol and technology, it has so many applications. And so I think this governance is going to allow people to really have a voice in this new internet, right? Which I think is probably going to be one of the largest paradigm shifts of our generation. And so I would implore people to look into, more of the utility of having a vote and on all the different things that you can do with these domains that will kind of revamp the current web. And I think that the delegate system that you guys have developed, although I have to look more into it, is going to really democratize that and kind of reach that breadth of development that, you know, anyone basically can start building in those directions, which I think is really cool. So I just wanted to give my 2 cents on that to all these people who are asking.
Yeah, I think thank you for the Dune analytics. I haven't seen that before. I think it's I mean, this is just reiterates why I mentioned at the beginning of this, just it's so cool to have an open source community that can just take this data that we've provided and the blockchain's provided, and people can build stuff on it. And we haven't even asked anyone to do that, but it's awesome that someone's already built this tool. Also, shout out to you, Bandit, for all the stuff that you've been doing whilst the airdrop was happening to find out all the information about people farming the airdrop and trying to take the airdrop away from, you know, our community in a way to trust. I really thank you for that.
No, you're welcome, and it was my pleasure. I'm glad we managed to get what we found. So, yeah.
Thanks, Bandit. I just shared a tweet with, and also I think it was Corey.eth, just shared a link to the Dune analytics board, and so that's pinned now if anyone wants to take a look, and it's incredible. Cool. Thank you so much.
Yeah, legend. MEV Bandit, guys. This guy really helped us a lot. Thank you very much.
Yeah, can't be the ENS community, man.
Incredible. Okay, so I'm getting tired. It's late where I am. We have like a huge number of people in the queue. It's not going to happen, folks. I'm sorry, but this last person here, I already have up Devin Mitchum. Want to talk to you. The rest of you, I'm so sorry. I want to talk to you. I love all of you. I really do, but I have limits. I have to go to bed. So we're going to talk to this last person, and then like we're going to do other Twitter Spaces. Okay, there's going to be other opportunities, and this is just the beginning. We have our Discord. Get involved in the community there. Get on our, get all into our forum. Talk on Twitter. This is not like the only place to like talk. Okay, but we will do more Twitter Spaces in the future. Let's go to Devin. How are you doing?
Brantley, doing great. And hey, thanks for the time. Noted on the huge shout out to everyone here, right, who sort of nominated to get up on stage. I'll try and take an honor to maybe leave a statement for people to think about, right, in terms of what ENS means. But yeah, first off, Brantley, Alicia, Jeff, Nick, if he's here, huge shout out on all the work making this happen.
Leon too. Leon right here built the Claim app.
Huge. So I'm a long-time user. I'm a second-time caller. Been on these before. Disclosure: 18 years at Google, but I'm a big DJ on ENS, using it for 3 years.
Oh, nice.
But personal opinion, and really riffing on your point earlier, Brantley, where you mentioned about really just how people should get excited about what ENS means. And I just wanted to expand a bit on that for the audience, as myself as a bit of a power user in ENS and a degenerate. So one way I think about ENS is like, you can think of it as an identity, right? And an identity can be a statement. And I think there's two ways you can think of this. Now, of course, ENS can be a word, right? It can be a name, your first name, your daughter's name. It could be a phrase. It could be a meme. But I really think ENS can make addresses fun again, right? And I think that'll be something fascinating to watch. I think a second point is symbology. You might notice my ENS names. I've got a couple of clouds. I've got a head in a cloud. I think that's fun. That's my vibe, right? It can be, a vibe can be your identity. So others, on the audience, think about your vibe, right? This can also be art. So I'll close with that, but really just want to just call attention to just how big this can be with the Unicode support and everything else. And I'll hand the mic back over. Cheers.
Yes, thank you so much. Absolutely. It's all these different pieces coming together. It's a person's identity. And it's funny, like something else I would say to people who are listening, if you haven't gotten an ENS name, if you haven't gotten like an NFT avatar, all this might sound completely preposterous. It is kind of preposterous, but it's also true. Okay. Like if you get an ENS name, if you get your NFT avatar, and if you like put these things together, it's like, whoa, it's like very meaningful. It really is. It's like you. Even like my wife has said this, that she, I have this like CryptoPunk guy, I don't have like a do-rag in real life or anything like this. I'm not wearing, purple sunglasses all the time, but like she said, because I put this everywhere, she said she sees it and she like thinks it's me. Like that is me now. Right. And, it's amazing that how powerful this is. And Devin is completely correct. Okay. I'm going to end it here. I love you all. Jeff, Alicia, Leon, do you guys want to all just say a closing word or say bye to people?
Thank you. We'll remember this day for the rest of our lives, and it's all because of the community. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for being part of ENS and part of what we think is the start of something great.
Yeah, I can't think of anything to say. Just thank you. Hope you enjoyed using the claim site. Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, I love you all. Have a great day.